How dogs learn. Secrets of dog physiology. Indeed, dogs are not human. They do not learn in exactly the same way that we learn. Dogs most frequently learn about each other and about us through visual and scent cues. In particular, they observe body language and smell butts to get information. Sometimes, they also use verbal communication, but much less so than we do. For example, dogs usually pick up hand gestures a lot faster than they do verbal commands. Dogs are not stupid, they can clearly see that we are not dogs. They are also very good at observing human behavior and human gestures. Dogs can learn from other dogs through social learning. They can also learn from us through a process called conditioning. Psychologists such as Pavlov, Skinner, and others have done many experiments on animals, including dogs, in the area of behavioral conditioning. The behavioral conditioning methods that we use to train all dogs today are based on their extensive work and studies. Dogs respond to classical and operant conditioning. Simply put, classical conditioning is responsible for involuntary responses. A dog salivating when dinner is served, while operant conditioning is responsible for voluntary responses. A dog sitting for a treat. Classical conditioning can be useful in giving positive associations to potentially negative objects. For example, if we show our dog a muzzle before the start of dinner each night, he will start to associate the muzzle with dinner. Since every time he sees the muzzle, he gets dinner, he may start to salivate when he sees the muzzle because food is likely on the way. Based on operant conditioning, there are two classes of techniques for shaping a dog's voluntary behavior: reward dog training and aversive dog training. Operant conditioning techniques are what we mostly use today to stop bad dog behavior, as well as to train them to do tricks and commands. How dogs learn operant conditioning. Based on operant conditioning principles, we can change a dog's behavior by adding or taking away a reward stimulus, or we can change a dog's behavior by adding or taking away an aversive stimulus. A rewarding stimulus can be food, or it can be a variety of other things including toys, freedom to roam, walks, play, and much more. Similarly, an aversive stimulus can be a collar correction, an electric shock, a slap on the muzzle, a finger jab, an unpleasant sound, and much more. Different stimuli will have different results on learning depending on the temperament of the dog, the temperament of the trainer, the type of dog, the environment, the trigger event, how the stimulus is applied, and a variety of other factors. Some dogs are food-focused, which means that food will be effective at training good behaviors and stopping bad behaviors. Similarly, some dogs will wilt with just a stern word, while others will turn around and bite when jabbed by a foot or a finger. How and what a dog learns is also highly dependent on timing and frequency. Generally, we want to apply the reward or aversive stimulus as close to the target behavior as possible. Operant conditioning studies also tell us that we do not want to overcorrect our dog. If we apply an aversive stimulus too frequently, our dog will get habituated to it and it will no longer be effective. Similarly, we do not want to reward our dog too frequently, or he may learn to expect a reward every time, and not be motivated to give his best effort. Do not let yourself be manipulated by carefully edited television shows or unsubstantiated dog training myths. Instead, do your own research on how dogs think and learn. Try out a variety of safe and reasonable dog training techniques to find what works best for our own temperament and for our dog's temperament. Always observe and listen to what your dog is trying to say.